Hey there, Alex from Alex Gaming, and today we're going to take a look at the most promising cards from the new Mega Rising set that had just been leaked today thanks to PokemonSun.com, usually a very reliable source for all these kind of leaks. So instead of going through every single card that's going out in this set, I'm just going to highlight some of the, to me, most interesting cards that may or may not work depending on how you build a deck around them. So let's take a look at each one of them. There are like maybe 20 to 30 cards. I'll put timestamps in the description of the video in case you want to jump to any of those in particular, but I'll try to keep my thoughts very concise. So first of all, we have Dustox. It's Stage 2 evolution, and we got Select Powder for only one Leaf Energy. You do 60, and you can choose either Poison or Confuse, and your opponent's active Pokemon is now affected by that special condition. By only having one retreat cost, 130 HP, and 60 damage, plus the Poison and Confuse, this, to me, is a very interesting card. You can pair it pretty well with a Sitrus card to just get those Pokemon that maybe try to escape from being poisoned or confused. If you had a Leaf Cape, you get this Pokemon up to 160 HP, and you can just keep healing it over and over again. It's a Stage 2 Pokemon, but man, this looks very promising with the correct group of cards backing it up. Really excited about this one. Up next, we have another Stage 2 Pokemon. We got Shiftry, and we have Nipping Cyclone for 70 damage, only 2 Leaf Energy, but you discard a random card from your opponent's hand. No strings attached, 70 damage, and getting rid of cards from your enemy probably really quickly if you get a rare candy in those first turns. Man, this can be a real pain in the back. Up next, we got Lilligant with this ability that is absolutely incredible. We got Toughness Aroma, and each of your grass Pokemon gets 20 HP. Just like that. If grass Pokemon weren't tanky enough, now we got plus 20 HP. This is absolutely nuts. So if you have at least 2 of these on the bench, you got 40 HP plus a Leaf Cape, that's 30 HP. That's 70 HP extra to your Pokemon's total HP. That's absolutely insane. I don't know if this ability applies to Lilligant itself, so you got it goes up maybe to 100. I don't think that's the case, but if you got another Lilligant, this goes up to 100. So pretty interesting. And we got Smack for 2 energies, 450. It's a good card. Up next, we got Ho-Oh, regular Ho-Oh, no Ho-Oh EX, with 120 HP, and we got Blast Burn for 100 damage, but it heals 30 damage from each of your bench basic Pokemon. I know that 4 energies are tough, especially in this meta that everything is so fast, but this is pretty interesting, especially as a supporter, or maybe just like trying to get a clutch win, but just swapping Ho-Oh to the active spot and then using those tools to get those missing energies and just go for the 4 energies. This is a tough sell, I know it, but this card has got me pretty interested. So let me see if I can just make something work. Maybe pairing it with Moltres EX could be decent enough. I don't know, let's see how it goes. Up next, we got Mega Blaziken EX, probably, in my opinion, the best Mega for this set. We got Mega Burning for 120 damage, and you discard 1 Fire Energy from this Pokemon, and your opponent's active Pokemon is now burned, so that's 140 damage in your turn. This card is absolutely insane. There's not much else that I can say. Really good, and then you have a 210 HP. This is massive. 230 HP with one giant cape. This is going to be absolutely nuts and really difficult to counter, but with Suicune right now, this might be in a little bit of trouble, so let's see how it goes during the next meta. Up next, we have probably the best troll card in the whole set. We got Chandelure with 140 HP, but this ability is absolutely nuts. We got Slow Seer, and once during your turn, you may discard the top card of your opponent's deck. I don't know why they phrase it like that with the you may discard. It's like if you're benevolent enough, you're not going to screw your opponent. So once during your turn, discarding any card from the top card from your opponent's deck, that is a must. And doing 80 damage by the side, that's really neat. That's really neat. So yeah, absolutely stoked about getting a new deck featuring this card, or at least using it as a support. And the good thing is that you can use it with any deck in general. Just you won't be using this card, but this, as it being an ability, and you don't have to be in the active spot. So this is really, really good. Up next, we got Gyarados and Mega Gyarados EX. Both of them do the same, which is do 100 and 140 damage and discard the top card of your opponent's deck, or 3 cards for the Mega version. This is a really good one. I don't know if 4 energies maybe asking a lot, especially in this meta that is so freaking fast. But maybe using the correct Pokemon to ramp it up, it can be very valuable, especially with this, discarding 3 cards. That looks insane. Maybe I wouldn't risk it that much and just go with the regular Gyarados, because you still discard 1 of your opponent's deck card. And if you use the Chandelure, pairing it with this one, you can discard 2 cards or maybe 4 cards at one given turn. So that looks promising, but I don't know if it will actually work. Up next, we got Jellicent. If this Pokemon, take a look at this ability, please. Bouncy Body. If this Pokemon is in the active spot and is damaged by an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, take a Water Energy from your energy zone and attach it to one of your bench Pokemon. If you use Jellicent with Mega Gyarados or just a Magikarp in the bench, you can just keep stacking Gyarados with energies without even risking it. So this is going to be a really good pair for any other Pokemon. Also, I know, thinking about Pokemon EX or other Pokemon that really rely on having those water energies. And you are still attacking for 60 damage with Surf, and you have 120 HP. And this is stage 1 Pokemon, not stage 2. So this is a really good addition for any water type Pokemon, water type base decks. So really good. I don't know why they're doing this. I hate this card. I hate this Pokemon. I know the community loves it, but I don't know. Greninja is going to be a really pain in the butt. We got Greninja EX now with 170 HP. And this ability, Shift Stream. Once during your turn, you may switch your active water Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. What? If you got Mega Gyarados up there and it's getting into trouble, you can just switch it. Or basically switch any big Pokemon that you got. I don't know if I would prefer to have Greninja EX instead of Greninja, regular Greninja. It depends on the strategy, it depends on the deck, but this could really create some interesting plays, especially in the later stages of the battle when you're trying to just go for the win, or you don't have a retreat cost, or you have a really high retreat cost and don't want to risk it all. Sorry about that. Moving on, we got Jolteon EX. This card and this ability paired with an Eevee that we're going to see a little bit later. This is nuts, guys. We got Electromagnetic Wall. As long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, whenever your Pokemon attaches an energy from their energy zone to one of their Pokemon, do 20 damage to that Pokemon. So basically, you're penalizing your opponent for attaching energy, which is insane. Insane. So, and there's another Eevee. I'm just going to skip through it. There's another Eevee. Let me just try to find it. This one, you got boosted evolution. As long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, it can evolve during your first turn or the turn you play it. What is going on? So if you use this boosted evolution with the Jolteon EX, this can pair some really good offensive plays. And if you got a Zeraora in the bench, just stack energy as fast as possible and then transfer those energies to start attacking with a match bolt for 80 damage as quick as in the second turn. This can be a really messy card. We got Luxray with Flash Impact for 110 damage, only 2 energy. You're not discarding anything, so this is really good. And this attack also does 20 damage to one of your bench Pokemon. There's not much else to say. This is a really solid card and no retreat cost. Probably one of the best cards in this set. Now hear me out. This is going to be a really good card for those of you that like to gamble. We got Dusknoir with the ability Fade into Darkness. When this Pokemon is knocked out, flip a coin. If heads, your opponent can't get any points for it. What? So you basically have the probability of still do very decent damage with 80 damage here, 150 HP in the pool, and probably not giving your opponent any points. This can be really interesting. Now let's talk about Klefki, because this card, oh my god. Ability, Dismantling Keys. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is on your bench, you may discard all Pokemon tools from your opponent's active Pokemon. If you do, discard this Pokemon. I don't know if this gives your opponent 1 point. I don't think so. It just says discard this Pokemon. So maybe it works like a fossil that you just discard it and it goes into your discard pile and that's it. So imagine that you have your opponent with giant capes all over the place, maybe some working helmets, and then you use this one. Up next we got Indeedee EX with the ability Watch Over. Once during your turn, you may heal 20 damage from your active Pokemon. We got Psychic for 30 plus damage. This attack does 30 damage for each energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. So basically, you can do an average of 90 damage and also heal 20 damage from your active Pokemon. And if you pair this with the Espeon EX, maybe you could be doing some really interesting plays right there. Really excited to do this one as well in a deck. Now this is to me the best card in the whole set. Hear me out. We got 2 colorless, so this can go into any single deck that you create. 2 colorless, Evil Admonition, 40 damage. This attack does 40 damage for each of your opponent's Pokemon in play that has an ability. This is the Suicune counter that we were hoping for. Because that freaking deck, you got Suicune, you got Greninja, and you got Giratina EX. Each of them has an ability. And that means 40 plus 40 times 4. So you got 4 Pokemon, that's 160 damage. And 40, you got 200 damage in a single strike, just having your enemy with a full stacked bench of Suicune and other Greninja and Darktina. I'm sorry, I'm crashing out. This card is too good, depending on the meta. This is going to be a staple for the second season. I can guarantee it. Hydreigon, we got Roar in Unison ability. Once in your turn, you may take 2 energy from your energy zone and attach it to this Pokemon. If you do 30 damage to this Pokemon. If you pair this one with Tyranitar, the Dark Tyranitar, oh, this is going to be a really good way to ramp up that Pokemon. So, interesting, good HP, decent attack. So, if you have a way to maybe keep healing this thing up. It reminds me a lot of Flareon EX, so this is going to be really, really good. Now, probably my second favorite card of this set, we got Dragalge EX, 150 HP. And listen to this ability. We got Poison Point. If this Pokemon is in the active spot and is damaged by an attack of your opponent's Pokemon, the attacking Pokemon is now poisoned. There's no condition, no extra conditions. It is a fact. The Pokemon will get poisoned. So it's basically like having a poison barf integrated into that card, and you can't get rid of it. So this is going to be pairing really good with Nihilego, and it does 80 damage with only 2 energies. Pairing this thing maybe with Darkrai EX or Nihilego, this is going to be one of my most sicked cards in this set. Moving on, we got Aegislash with the ability Curse Metal. Attacks used by your Psychic Pokemon and Metal Pokemon do 30 damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. 30 extra damage just by existing. And this is stage 2. So, pairing this one with any Psychic Pokemon, maybe Giratina, and you do 160 damage, knocking out basically any Pokemon. With Alakazam, oh my god, this can be really, really good. I know that's a lot of energy, and maybe mixing Steel with Psychic is not the most intuitive thing, but maybe we can work this out. Goomy, listen to this. Ability, Sticky Membrane. As long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, attacks used by your opponent's active Pokemon cost 1 more energy. This is such a troll to the baby meta. So this is going to be really good. And I don't like the whole combined energy thing to attack, but let's see how it works. Goodra, the evolution of that one, stage 2 Pokemon. We got Spiral Drain, 100 damage, heal 40 damage from this Pokemon, and we got Water Energy and Psychic Energy, and 1 colorless. So this is basically like a Dragon Venusaur. I like it. It's a good damage, decent HP. So yeah, I only think that we got a very heavy retreat cost spot with some tools, especially that helmet that lets you suppress 20 damage, having a retreat cost of 3 energies or more. This is going to be a really decent one. Pidgeot, 2 colorless energy, Twister for 80. Flip 2 coins for each heads, discard a random energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. If both of them are tails, this attack does nothing. Again, a lot of energy discarding attacks in this set. I like it. Probably not the best Pidgeot, but we got decent HP, so this can mess up with your opponent if you got your rare candies early in the game. Eevee, we've talked about this Eevee, absolutely insane. Boosted evolution, as long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, it can evolve during your first turn or the turn you played. I love it, insane. If we didn't have enough Eevee cards yet, well, here's another one, and it's really, really good. Moving on with the Pokemon tools, we got Sitrus Berry. This is really interesting, especially for those Pokemon that we use as a wall. At the end of each turn, if the Pokemon this card is attached to has half of its maximum HP or less remaining, heal 30 damage from it. If you do, discard this card. So it's basically a free Pokemon Center lady to heal for 30 damage if your Pokemon gets a lot of damage in those first turns. So let's see if we can pair this thing maybe with a grass Pokemon, and just to keep the wall in place while you do all the other things in the back, and then bring the Pokemon that can turn the battle to your side. Heavy Helmet, this is one that I've been talking about. If the Pokemon this card is attached to has a retreat cost of 3 or more, it takes 20 damage less from attacks from your opponent's Pokemon. So, if you got some very heavy hitting Pokemon, like Mega Gyarados, EX, you could use this one and you're automatically blocking 20 damage. This is really good with some Pokemon. I will need to search for Pokemon that have a retreat cost of 3 or more. Maybe a Giratina, normal Giratina. Some Dragon Pokemon maybe. Dragonite EX, I'm trying to remember. But this is really interesting for wall Pokemon. This card is insane. Copycat. Shuffle your hand into your deck. Draw a card for each card in your opponent's hand. I don't know what else to say. This is insane. Absolutely insane. Lisia, put 2 random basic Pokemon with 50 HP or less from your deck into your hand. Thank God, this is absolutely amazing. One of the best cards in this set. And that's it. That's all the cards that I got for you guys. Those were the ones that caught my eye. The ones that I think I'm going to try to include into new decks coming up this season. Please subscribe for those decks that will be coming during November, and depending how much this set lasts, I'll try to keep things as fresh as possible here in the channel. Thank you very much for sticking with me for, I don't know, 30 more minutes. I don't know how long this video is going to be. I'm sorry. So thank you very much for watching. See you later. Ciao.